Today, your heart is about to be enveloped by a sacred presence. You are not just hearing words, but entering an invisible sanctuary where God reaches out to you. Psalms 91, 23, and 35 are not distant verses. They are living promises, whispered in your ear like a heavenly secret. Feel the thrill of faith run down your skin, for you are being invited on a journey where the divine touches the human, where the eternal bends to embrace the fragile. Allow yourself to be enveloped by the Father's love, like a child nestling in the safe lap after a long storm. These prayers are not just sounds on the wind. They are balms that heal old wounds, light that dispels deep shadows. Let them burrow deep into your soul, bringing forth a peace you never knew was possible. This is your moment of renewal, where fears turn to confidence and doubts dissolve into certainty. Psalm 91 is more than a shield. It is a divine embrace. Imagine yourself enfolded by mighty wings, warm as the morning sun, firm as unshakable mountains. Here no evil can penetrate. Here you are not a stranger, but a beloved child, jealously guarded by the Creator. Every word of this psalm is a blow against the darkness, a declaration that you are not unprotected. God does not sleep, and His eyes are fixed on you. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. These words are not a metaphor, they are a decree. When the world crumbles around you, you stand tall. When fear whispers lies, God's voice thunders truth. Have you ever imagined what it is like to walk surrounded by angels, invisible to the attacks of the enemy? This is your reality when you hide in Him. You are not a victim, you are not fragile, you are invincible under His shadow. Lord, today we cry out with tears of gratitude and trembling lips. We know that you keep us, but sometimes our hearts waver. Hold us tighter to your chest, so that we may feel the beating of your heart. Cover us with your feathers, like a mother protecting her young from the storm. May each person who hears these words feel the warmth of your presence, like a fire that melts the ice of loneliness and despair. We give you our fears, Lord, all of them. The fear that wakes us at night, the fear that paralyzes us in the face of the future, the fear that whispers that we are alone. Silence those voices with your love. Teach us to take a deep breath and trust, even when we cannot see the way. Because if you are with us, who can be against us? Neither death nor sickness nor betrayal can tear us from your hands. And now, take a deep breath. Feel the relief coming like a gentle tide. You are no longer carrying this burden alone. God is lifting it for you. Let this truth echo in your heart. You are loved, you are kept, you are more than a conqueror. And this is not just a promise, it is a destiny. Amid the vastness of life, where paths fork in uncertainty, a still, steady voice rises. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Like a river winding through arid valleys, bringing life in its course, this promise bathes the thirsty soul. He is not a distant guide, but a shepherd who walks ahead, whose compassionate gaze never strays from his sheep. In his care, there is provision not only for the body, but for the spirit. Green pastures where the soul reclines, still waters that wash away the dust of the journey. And even when the night grows thick, he whispers, "Fear not, I am here." How often, Lord, do our steps falter under the weight of shadows? How often does the valley seem to narrow, suffocating the light? But you, in your infinite tenderness, remind us that even darkness is temporary. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod lovingly corrects us. Your staff supports us when we stumble. There is no abyss too deep for your hand to reach, no solitude too deep for your comfort to fill. In you, we find the courage to carry on, even when the ground seems to give way. Oh, what a sublime mystery is your faithfulness. When enemies gather, laying ambushes, you prepare a table before them, not a hasty meal, but a banquet, a symbol of triumph, of abundance in the midst of war. The anointing oil runs down our foreheads, marking us as yours, sealing us with grace. And the cup? Ah, it is not just full, it overflows, pouring out blessings that exceed all measure. In the midst of chaos, you teach us to dance in the rain of your provision. For those who have the shepherd never lack. There are wounds that only holy oil can touch. There are pains that only your hands, calloused with love, can embrace. You anoint our heads, Lord, not with ritualistic pomp, but with the perfume of restoration. Every tear collected, every dream shattered, you gather them and transform them into mosaics of hope. You refresh our souls, not as a mere relief, but as a spring wind that dispels the winter of despair. And so, breathing in your spirit, we arise renewed, not by our own strength, but by your life-giving breath. How sweet it is to dwell under the shelter of the Most High. Even when the thunder roars and the earth trembles, there is a calm that is born of the certainty. Your goodness and mercy will follow me all the days. They are not fleeting shadows, but faithful companions, weaving a mantle of protection around us. Every step we take, even the stumbling ones, is accompanied by this heavenly duo: goodness that reaches us, mercy that redeems us. And at the end of the journey, there is no fear, only home. The Father's house, where the long days unfold into eternity. Lord, teach us to rest, not like those who ignore the storms, but like children who, even amidst the roar, sleep in their Father's lap. Your peace is not the absence of war, it is an unshakable presence. May our hearts learn to rest in you, like sheep who close their eyes knowing that the shepherd watches. And when night falls, may our voice echo in the silence, "You are with me." For this truth, more than a comfort, is the very essence of our hope. And so, among paths and valleys, among tables and chalices, we continue, not as wanderers, but as pilgrims guided by the same love that moved the heavens to bow, until one day the shadows will dissipate once and for all, and the green pastures of eternity will be revealed. Then, free from the burden, we will run, no longer along the path, but into the arms of the shepherd. And there, in the house of the Lord, we will discover that every step was worth it, because he was with us from our first breath to our last. Amidst the din of battle, when the shadows of our enemies lengthen like hungry claws, a cry rises up and pierces the heavens. Contend, Lord, with those who contend with me. It is not a timid murmur, but a roar born from the depths of the soul, a clamor that shakes the foundations of the invisible. David, poet and warrior, does not plead with a trembling voice. He demands justice with the ferocity of one who knows the power of his God. And today, we inherit that same cry. Because there are enemies that cannot be seen, but can be felt. Lies that cut like swords, betrayals that burn like coals, injustices that weigh like tombstones. Lord, arise, not as a spectator, but as the heavenly general who splits the heavens to fight for his children. O God of hosts, take up thy shield, not a cold metal object, but the promise itself, which gleams like gold in the fire. Lift up thy shield, not as a passive barrier, but as a rampart of fire that consumes the flaming arrows of the evil one. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. For there are times when the weary heart hears nothing but the whisper of fear. Speak to us, O Lord, with the voice that stills the storm. Let every syllable of thy voice be like an earthquake that overthrows the strongholds of lies. And let our adversaries, those who dig pits in secret, fall into it like dry leaves swept away by the whirlwind of thy judgment. There is an unseen net woven in the shadows, O Lord, snares woven with threads of falsehood, snares tightened by hands that smile as they stab. But thou, who seeth what is done in darkened rooms, will turn their craftiness to their own ruin. Let destruction come upon them, and they will not know it. May the pit they have prepared for us be the abyss where their wickedness will drown. Meanwhile, our soul, still wounded, already foresees the dance of victory. They will rejoice in your salvation. For the God who cradles the afflicted is the same who crushes the arrogant with a breath. Who can compare with you, O Lord? Who is like you, who rescues the poor from the mighty? You do not merely watch, you intervene. The weak, crushed by the weight of injustice, are gathered up by your calloused hands of love. The needy, robbed of their dignity, are clothed by you in robes of honor. While the mighty of this world trust in armies and gold, we whisper your name, and the mountains tremble. They have swords, we have your scythe. They have strategies, we have your angel, whose wings sweep the slippery paths of the wicked. Lord, restore our honor, as dew restores the parched earth. Every tear shed in secret, every word twisted against us, you gather and transform into seeds of glory. May those who laugh at our tears today, tomorrow see, astonished, your power springing up in us like a lily in the desert. We need not brandish knives or cry out for revenge. Our defense is in your silence that speaks louder than 1,000 thunders. Let them be as chaff before the wind. May the evil they planned be blown away like smoke, and may their once arrogant faces be covered with the blush of defeat. But do not let us, O God, rejoice in their downfall as cruel victors. Rather, may our joy be pure, not in their failure, but in your manifest justice. Teach us to hate sin, but to love the sinner, even if he insists on stabbing us. For if David cried out for deliverance, he also wept for Saul. If he called for confusion for his enemies, he wished them deep down the same transformative encounter he had with himself in the valley of the skull. May our cry not only be for victory, but for transformation, ours and theirs. And when the dust settles, when the last echo of the battle fades, may our lips, once tense with shouting, curl in praise. All my bones will say, Lord, who is like you? For war has not hardened us, injustice has not embittered us. We are softer, wiser, more filled with you. And on the great day, when the congregation of the redeemed gathers, we will tell not only the story of our pain, but the saga of your strong arm. Until then, we walk, not as victims, but as witnesses. The God who fights for us has never lost a battle. As we close our eyes and take a deep breath, we feel the echo of these psalms pulsing through our veins like a river of sacred fire. Psalm 91 envelops us like a blanket of light. Psalm 23 carries us like a gentle breeze through the valleys, and Psalm 35 screams within us like the thunder of divine justice. Together, they are not just words, they are heaven's symphony, composed for the moments when our knees tremble and our voices are lost in the scream. God is not a distant spectator. He is the refuge that hides us in his arms when the world falls apart, the fortress that transforms our cries into battle songs. How many times, when we are cornered by life, have we felt the ground give way beneath our feet? How many times have enemies, whether flesh or shadow, surrounded us with sharp smiles? But these psalms, remind us we are engraved on the palms of the one who commands armies of angels. When fear whispers that we are alone, the truth rings out louder. He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will take refuge. This is no poetic metaphor. It is a promise of blood and glory. The same God who parted the sea for Moses is here now, shattering the giants who dare block us. Oh, how sweet it is to know that his justice never fails. While the world preaches vengeance, God whispers, I will take care of it. We do not need to fight with the rotten weapons of human anger. The Lord fights with a rod of iron and a scepter of mercy. Those who dig pits will fall into them, but we who trust will be lifted up like beacons in a stormy night. And even when the pain throbs and hope seems like a thin thread, remember, the God who held David up against Goliath has already prepared your place of victory. You are not only protected, you are predestined to win. Today, your heart can be the altar where peace and justice kiss. Feel this. The same Spirit who hovered over the waters of chaos in the beginning now hovers over your life. The battles you cannot win alone are already marked with the seal of the cross. When demons roar, you will silence their voice with one name, Jesus. When doors close, you will break them down with one word, faith, because the Psalms are not just comfort, they are weapons. And you have been called to the front lines, not as a victim, but as an anointed warrior. Make no mistake, the path will still be thorny. There will be days when the valley of the shadow seems endless, and the still waters of Psalm 23 seem like mirages. But it is precisely there, at your limit, that God writes his miracles. Your tears, he collects them. Your silent cries, he deciphers them. Even your weariness is sacred, because it is in human exhaustion that divine power manifests itself without veils. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. And this truth is not comfort, it is revolution. So, remain, not like an immobile statue, but like a tree planted by streams, which even when shaken by the storm, deepens its roots. Nourish yourself with the word as one who savors fresh manna. Cover yourself with prayer as one who puts on armor of light. And when doubt comes, because it will, raise these psalms as your shield. The Lord is my shepherd, I will not fear. He commands his angels to guard you. Repeat until your soul believes more than your eyes see. And now, dear warrior, this invitation. Shall we go deeper together? If these words have set your spirit on fire, imagine what else awaits you. Click the bell, sign up, not out of ritual, but out of hunger. Hunger for more God, more power, more miracles. Because the journey does not end here. There are prayers that will break chains, prophecies that will shatter mountains. And you? Are you ready for the next step? Heaven is not just watching, it is responding. And your victory, oh, your victory is already engraved in the stars.